Hey, welcome to day 81, my spiritual journal with me, with your soul sister, Iona. Let me just adjust that. So this is going to be a quick spiritual journal with me. If you are new to me and new to the Soul Legacy TV, I talk about spiritual business success without being busy, doing busy work, being broke, or experiencing burnout. For light workers, and I talk about your daily rituals and routines that support you in your spiritual business success. So today I've got my green t-shirt on. It is Environmental Freedom Thursday. Usually I'll pull a card. I think I'll pull the card first. That's what I do in my spiritual journal. I talk about your vision, your values, and your vibration, rating your vibration. I'm not even going to go into all of that today. I'm going to pull the card and I'm going to tell a story, and I'm going to hop off this live because I've got hay fever and the daily live is later in the day than what I normally do it. And I'm going to go get in the bath and I'm going to go chill out. So this is like me expressing, I call it environmental freedom, and showing up, speaking out and serving deep and doing it in a raw and a real way. And this is me serving you, saying, grab your spiritual journal. I had a book that I listened to today. Which was it? What was it today? I've got notes. I did all of my journal routine this morning, but I'm not going to talk about it all. I'm going to pull this card. What was the book that I read today? Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. Love it. Anyway, so this is the card for today. Let's pull a card. It is Archangel Michael, Trusting Heaven. So it says, you are safe, angels stand close, surrender your concerns, allow a miracle to occur. Love that. So this is the message. It says, Archangel Michael, Saint Michael, is one of 4 major archangels in the Arabic religions. His twin flame is faith. He is loved all over the world because he is the patron saint of protection. He wields a bright sword of light to help us detach from dramas and challenges or fears. His name means he is like God, and his fiery presence helps awaken our leadership skills and reminds us that we have the capacity to connect with heaven. If challenges are present in your life, call on Michael to bring his sword of light to energetically disconnect you from what no longer is serving you. Extended message, your angel team is with you now, and so if you need to hear this, this is for you. You are not in this alone. You may be feeling sensitive or overwhelmed, but your angels are inviting you to take a step back so that you can come in and so that they can come in and share their light of miracles. You may feel that your prayers aren't heard, but the doubt blocks solutions from entering your life. Know that Archangel Michael and his legion of angels are here to help clear anything that's no longer serving you, that can allow in the miracles of change that you deserve. I love that. So, Environmental Freedom Thursday, I talk about environment, meaning what we experience on the external starts from the internal. So change your paradigm, change your life. So change what's on here, change your life. Lots of things go on in our environment. Obviously the world was like crazy, our external environment, all the things. So usually I'll journal what your vision is for your environment, what you want to have happen, where you want to work, as all the things. But and then we do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge with the vibrational money voucher. I'm not going to go into all of that. I would have done this morning, and I want to explain just for a second of why. I was on calls and stuff today, just sorting out this week. I've shared family stuff, and family comes first, right? Like not my immediate, well, my family, but not my immediate household or what have you, just being a source of support. And so I've done that quite a lot today, which meant I didn't get on my live. However, it's just beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm at is just beautiful. So what I wanted to do was just share the environment that I usually work out and go out in nature. The road was blocked off, but I didn't know it was actually blocked off. I think my phone's on the one. I didn't know it was actually blocked off yesterday, but I went out for a walk. I walked my daughter down to the train station today as well. I like to get out in nature. It's been really sunny, really beautiful. Anyway, yesterday we were talking about the stuff, and I said, let's just walk and talk, you know, when you just want to go outside in nature. It's beautiful outside. I could see it was. And so we walked and we talked, and I said, let's go get some fish and chips for lunch. My daughter's 19. In the place near where we used to live. And we got there. We didn't Google it because we were engulfed in this conversation. And so we walked from this environment down to, and it was closed. And she's like, oh, I'm really mad. And I said, don't be mad. She's like, I'm really mad right now because we could have gone to the place where I said to go, and that shuts in like 10, 15 minutes. And if we hadn't have gone this way, the way that you wanted to go, we'd have been over there eating fish and chips. And I was like, okay, let's go into our town. Our town's it's a market town. It's very small. Let's go and eat at the pub. And she's like, she's 19, right? So we can do that. It's a restaurant. And she's like, I don't really love the food there. I was like, well, we used to, blah, blah, blah. I've been in this town about 14 years now. And I've worked that out because the people in the shop had asked me, they were like, you don't sound very local from here. I've got a Leeds accent and I'm down south in the UK. Anyway, as we were walking, I'm talking about environmental freedom, so I'm going to tie it in. As we were walking, and this is my journal and my visioning and all the things that come in and the soul guidance and all the things that come in. So walking, and we hadn't walked this way for a very long time, very, very long. We walked, and at the left hand side of us was a big building. And I said, goodness me, I cannot believe it's almost, well, it was 10 years ago, almost 10 years, maybe a month or so. No, it's about 10 years. Anyway, we were homeless. I was homeless. I had my daughter. I tell the story about being homeless, my spiritual awakening, all the things, going through a really messy divorce, ended up homeless, going to millionaire mind intensive, all the things. So it's around this time, 10 years ago, and we were walking past this building, and it's called the Halfway House. And I was like, oh my gosh, look. I said, wow, the house, you know. And she said, oh, and at the point they were like, we're going to close it down, blah, blah, blah. And it's like 10 years on and it's still, and I said, a decade. And I thought that I would be further along than what I am in terms of my own home, because I want to own a van conversion. And not like in a, just that's part of the vision of me doing what I'm doing. And I've always wanted to be a foster parent. That was part of the vision. And so we walked, and that's what I said to her. And within a minute, a friend drove past and said, you know, where are you going? Are you going like up to home, basically, because he lives this way. But he mentioned the next area on. And I said to my daughter, oh, wow, should we go get fish and chips from that area? Maybe that's not fish and chips. We just fancied fish and chips. That was it. Should we go get fish and chips from there? And I said, shall I call? So anyway, I called and I said, would you mind taking us to this area? It was where my daughter used to go to school. And so he said, no, okay. And I was like, okay, cool. So got in the car, went to this area. He works from home. So I said, you know, you can go if you like. It's fine. We'll walk back. It's quite far, but we'll walk back. Just take a slow walk back. But no, I'll wait. So it was like 10 minutes. And then by the time that we'd got back, he works from home as well. So he needed to be on a call, and a business call. And so he said, oh, we'll just eat at mine. And then I'll take you home, because where I normally run or walk was closed off. So it was like, imagine a really big long loop around to go. And so we wouldn't have been able to get home. Well, we can actually, because I checked today, but so it's like we didn't think that we'd be able to get home. So went there, and the place where he lives is a barn conversion, and part of a barn conversion. And so my daughter and I ended up sitting out in the grounds of a barn conversion. So we left here, and I said, let's just go for a walk, or let's just walk and talk. Didn't check the place, and we normally would check if it's open or not. And got there, decided to head, instead of heading back home, we headed this way, walked past the homeless place, then the friend, divine timing, then the friend comes along, then it's like, okay, well, then they drove off, and then it's like, just let's ring. Then the friend was able to take us, and it was all the way around anyway. So we sat in these grounds, and I was like, well, obviously my daughter knows that I've been working towards a barn conversion. And you know, there are a lot of money because I was homeless and bankrupted, £160,000 in debt, right? And bankruptcy lasts a good few years, right? Lasted 6 years. So I was like, oh, wow. Because I had no way of knowing how I would ever own a barn conversion. And over the years, when I came offline to help and heal myself first after my son passed, I ended up cleaning homes, and I ended up seeing a good few barn conversions, lots of different stories about barn conversions. Just attracting, having a look. This particular barn conversion that we were in is not far from us, and they actually had, when I looked at them online, they actually had the same sofa that we have here, this sofa, in that barn conversion. So I did laugh. Anyway, when he said, oh, go and have a look inside. So we had a look inside, and my daughter was like, I think I remember seeing this. And I said, yeah, in the pictures of me looking at this barn conversion. And by the time I'd got into this, it's like it didn't feel like it was up to my standard. My standard has changed since then. But it was really nice to the synchronicities from the homeless place, walking past that, you know, 10 years ago we were homeless. And then having a friend, obviously it's not our barn, but having a friend and just going like within minutes, and it wasn't planned, within minutes to being in the barn. So we got a picture and stuff in this barn, and just that manifesting and that feeling, and not feeling like this environment was crazy to own or to, I'm like, yeah, no, I want, it had a swimming pool and stuff and whatever. I'm like, yeah, no, yeah, mine's going to be better than that. Better than this particular barn. At one point it seemed so big and so, you know, and that's been part of my why and part of the legacy that I want to leave. So I've journaled, and I've done my vision boards, and I share about my spiritual journal and my spiritual awakening and all the things. And I just wanted to share the story of when you have that vision, you don't know how it's going to fill in. And now, like I said, you know, I was going to come on earlier, and my dream was to have the barn and to foster and what have you. And the family stuff that's going on might mean that. And it's absolutely the way that the universe fills things in. You just never know. You know, you plan these things and you do what you've got to do. I've never done what I've done for the money or anything like that, but to have a home and to own it, I want to own it outright. So I had to figure out a way. So we do the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. That's where that came from. The sum of, well, if the barn conversion, I want to earn at least $600,000 a year, at least. Obviously, I'm in the UK, so dollars doesn't transfer to pounds, so I could pay for this barn conversion. And then it came to then the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, and it just feels pretty magical, because 1 minute you can be outside the homeless place, and 1 minute you can be inside the barn, like just like that. It's yeah, I had no plans when we walked past the homeless place. We didn't know, like 20 minutes later we'd be obviously not our barn, but standing in a barn conversion that I'd looked at a few years ago when it was on sale, when it was on the market. That person didn't live there. That it's just it just synchronicities are just so beautiful. So I'm not going to do all of the vision and all of the change of paradigm, change of life. And my rating for my environmental freedom Thursday is 10 today, rates between 1 and 11. And I'll be back on SoulLegacyTV for Relationship Freedom Friday, which is got to be my favourite day. But the relationship with me and me in the environment, I'm actually, rather than spending a whole hour on here, I've been doing planning actually for the YouTube channel and planning out my book launch videos, which has been a lot of fun actually. It's been really good. You know, I've had a really good day, but a busy day, as in like not busy like rushing, but yeah, just stuff that, you know, you consider and you think, why do you want to be in the environment that you want to be in? Why do you want to work the way that you do? And I'm really grateful to be able to, you know, work from home in this environment, to be able to even have the consideration for the journey that we might be embarking. It's big. It's really, really big. And it's beautiful. And I'm grateful. And we do gratitude. So if you want to say gratitude, then feel free to use your spiritual journal. I have a playlist with all my daily vlogs. I come live every single day on the Soul Legacy TV to do our spiritual journal. And our journal isn't just journaling and writing down and jotting down. It's actually doing the thing, living it, eating, breathing and sleeping it. I didn't even show you the journal, the notebook, the Soul Legacy Journal. 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. A co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. It feels like alchemy to me. It feels like basking. Yeah, it feels like basking, and one day, you know, standing in that Banga version, it just connected. It just put in another dot for me. And it is divine time. And I am where I need to be, and I am exactly right. If you feel like, oh gosh, you know, I thought I'd be further along the journey, or in a different environment, or being able to travel, so if changes happen, the travel and the things that I'd had you know, are not going to be the same, and that's okay. It's my family comes first. It's just beautiful. I can't describe the feelings. So for me, when I come on the Soul Legacy TV, I have to be raw and real. And it just is. It is that for me. And it's just beautiful. It's just, I can't describe the journey other than it being so beautiful. Thank you for spending this time with me. It's short, sweet, not exactly the usual spiritual journal with me. But when you do your journal and you have your vision, keep that vibration, keep your eye on the prize, keep going. It doesn't, you know, it is the journey, it's not the destination. Definitely, and enjoy. So I love you. I shall speak to you soon. Take care. Big love.